What's going on, everybody? So last week I managed to make $10,000 in one trade using my ICT smart money concept strategy. It took me 3 steps to get into this trade, and I'm going to show you exactly how I executed all 3 of these steps so that you can get into it. I managed to make 5,000 and something on one and about 4,700 on the other. I will put proof of the withdrawal certificates here. I made it with Blue Guardian and I withdrew it last week. There's actually a video in the description. You can go and have a look. I go through my dashboard and all of my performance there. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you the 3 steps that I used to make this trade happen and how you can apply this to your trading as well. Just before we hop into the video, please do head below and subscribe if you haven't already, just so that you can catch my future videos. Additionally, if you want to use the prop firm that I use, Blue Guardian, there's a 10% discount in the description below. I withdrew both of these payouts with the Blue Guardian account. They do pay out and they are very good. So the discount code is down below.
So a lot of people ask me, what is my favorite prop firm to trade with? And it's pretty easy. It's Blue Guardian. Blue Guardian has the best trading conditions of any prop firm I've traded with. It also has a built-in equity protector to stop you from getting stopped out on your daily loss limit. So guys, if you're looking to get an evaluation with Blue Guardian, I suggest that you use the link below and use the code GARTRADES for 10% off your purchase. Right, so here we are on US 30. This trade took place on Thursday, the 25th of May. I will leave screenshots of the results, which I will show on my Blue Guardian dashboard as well as on my MT4 that we will post somewhere here. Right, so essentially what I saw, and this was just before market open, okay? So as you can see here, let's go back a little. I was looking at the market here just before market open. There was a news release, I believe, at 8:30. So you can see the news pushed us up here. And so immediately what I saw was step number 1 happening. Okay, we had a liquidity run. Okay, so number 1 is liquidity run. Okay, step number 2 also happened. Okay, so step number 2 is have a higher time frame point of interest. Now, what happened here? If we look to the left, we had basically a gap in price, okay? An actual gap in price, and that's why I like trading US 30 a lot. You can see that there's a gap in price here, okay? And this gap in price was created by volatility. Price moved so much that it left an actual gap, okay? There's one here as well. So that also was an added confluence for me. Then, okay, so this for me became a very strong zone. Why? We had a gap, okay, and we had a liquidity rate. So step 1, liquidity rate. Step 2, we had this gap, which is a higher time frame. It was on the 5 and 15 minute. There was this gap that I could see. So on the higher time frames, we had the gap and we had the liquidity run. A lot of people had stops sitting above this area here, okay? A lot of people, right? There were a lot of people that were in shorts that had break even set, okay, and they got taken out already. So based on that and the fact that market open was coming, right, we also had a change of character happen. Okay, now if you go and watch my fractal structure video, the link will be in the description as well, where you can watch that. You will know that once price comes up like this and it takes out the high, we then look back. We look for the candle that did not break the previous candle's high, right? And this candle broke this candle's high, this candle broke this candle's high, this candle broke this candle's high, this candle did not break this candle's high. So this becomes the low for our change of character. Okay, so we actually have a change of character that has happened in a significant zone. And like I've said before, guys, changes of character happen all the time. They happen everywhere, but it needs to be in a higher time frame point of interest. Like I've shown in other videos as well, you cannot just take any change of character all over the place. Okay, so with that in mind, and I saw this, and it's happening at a very significant time. New York Open is where I prefer to trade. I like to trade between New York Open, okay, and 11 o'clock. So I literally have this window, okay? That's all I literally trade. This window of price here is all I trade. Okay, you can actually see it here on the chart. So my favorite parts to trade is literally from just before New York open until about 11 a.m. New York time. You can see my time zone is set to New York time. It just makes it a lot easier. So we've had the change of character. We've had all 3 steps taken. So we've had the first step, liquidity run. Second step, a highly significant point of interest on the higher time frame was mitigated, okay, which is this gap in price, which was created through volatility, right? Also to notice that this gap achieves something, okay? Significant points of interest have to achieve something, okay? It broke structure. It broke significant structure to the downside, which is actually down here, right? And that is very important to note as well. So for me, all of the things lined up. Like I said, we had our liquidity run here. We had our higher time frame point of interest that had created a break of structure, okay? And we had our change of character. So then I would be looking to enter on a fair value gap. So now our fair value gap would be either here, okay, or there's one above here as well. Now, when I trade US30, especially when it's around New York Open, I like to have a much wider stop loss. So I actually entered and set my limit at this point, okay? And I was just going to target a 1 to 2 risk reward. Okay, so the reason I did that, I did it somewhere between here. You'll see it in the orders that I post. I set it somewhere around here, and I got tagged in, and we straight away went for the races. I want to go onto the lower time frames to show you the mitigation that happened, but you can see that on the extreme order block, I got in on the order block that was just below. My rules are actually that I get in on this higher one, but because it was New York Open, I got in a bit lower, which I was not supposed to. That was not part of the plan. However, I stuck to my rules. I had a 50 pip stop loss, and I was just targeting 1 to 2. And we made it on this trade. And I managed to pull roughly 5,000 on each account. I had two 200K accounts, and I pulled about 5,000 on each. A bit less than 5,000 on one, and a bit more than 5,000 on the other. And so that's basically the long and short of it. It's 3 rules that I followed. I looked for a liquidation of a very key level. Firstly, you can't just look for liquidations anywhere. Secondly, I looked for a higher time frame mitigation of a point of interest that achieved something in the market. That's what makes it significant. It broke significant swing structure to the left. And then I entered on the fair value gap on the extremity, which I did not fully follow. Like I said, I got in a bit early, and price did come to my fair value gap. So yeah, I have to be fully transparent on that. But yeah, like I said, all the results and stuff I posted already in this video. And if you want to see the breakdown of the withdrawal, the link is in the description below. Again, guys, if you also want to get an account with Blue Guardian and trade with them, they are very reliable. Their service is really great. I have a 10% discount code in the description below. So thank you to everybody for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.